This is a short introduction to DAW-AMP, my dibox and reampbox in one. DAW-AMP is built in 2mm steel housing, has 3 switches and 3 jack sockets. Guitar input, output to amplifier, and a DAW jack, which is output or input to the audio interface. Of course, there is a DC socket as well. In recording mode, the signal from the guitar is buffered and routed to the amp output and to the DAW output for recording. In reamping mode, when the guitar jack or power supply is disconnected, the DAW jack becomes an input and receives the signal from the audio interface, and the signal is then routed, maintaining level, to the amp output jack. There are 3 switches. The ground lift switch removes the ground connection between the amp and the audio interface. The guitar and amplifier ground is always connected. The ground is lifted on the DAW jack. There are 2 DAW level switches, high-low switch and 6 dB boost. The DAW-AMP has 4 signal levels on the DAW jack. The high-low switch changes the level on the DAW output input by 12 dB. This means that in the low position, the signal on the DAW jack is 6 dB lower than on the guitar amp jacks. When this switch is in the high position, the signal on the DAW socket is 6 dB higher than the guitar signal. The additional boost switch boosts the level by an additional 6 dB. So with both switches engaged, the level on the DAW socket is 12 dB higher than the guitar level. Very important. The level on the amp output is always the same and remains unchanged. The switches affect only the DAW jack level. There is always unity gain from the guitar input to the amplifier output, during recording as well as during reamping. Here we've got another DAW-AMP ready to use. As you can see, we have a fresh Pro Tools session. There's a guitar plugged into the guitar input, a guitar amplifier connected to the amp output, and the power supply connected as well. The LED diode shows that the unit is in recording mode. Removing the guitar plug switches DAW-AMP into reamping mode. When there is a plug in the guitar jack, the unit is in recording mode. The input jack works as a power switch, like in all guitar stomp boxes. Pro Tools audio interface has set both input and output levels to plus 4 dBu. Before we check the levels, we should check if the ground lift switch is in the proper position. Oops! Yes, it is. The ground should be lifted because both the computer with interface and the guitar amplifier are grounded. Let's check the recording levels. With both level switches off, the recording level is far too low. With the boost on, the level is 6 dB higher, but still too low. In high mode, the recording level is higher, and with both switches engaged, we've got almost maximum level. As you can hear, no matter how the switches are set, the signal sent to the amplifier remains unchanged and is exactly the same, like from the guitar, despite the fact that the recording level changes. Let's record something with various levels. First, the lowest recording level. Almost nothing. With 6 dB boost. Better. In high mode without boost. Better. With both switches. Good. Almost over. The recording session has finished. Now it's time for reamping. To switch the mode to reamping, we have to remove the guitar plug or power supply plug. Now, the DAW socket becomes an input and is ready to accept the recording signal from the audio interface. Let's see and hear how it works. I'll try to set the switches like when recording. As you can see and hear, if the switch positions are the same like when recording, the DAW-AMP ensures identical level on the amp jack when recording and reamping, which means the same sound from the amplifier. It is worth recording with the highest level possible. Because, as you will hear, the higher the recording level, the lower the noise from the amp is. I'll be quiet now. You should be able to compare the noise. Now the noise level is its lowest. Now the highest. That noise is not the fault of the DAW-AMP. The DAW-AMP alone is passive and dead quiet. The noise is coming from the audio interface and the transport is not running. So, the best settings are both switches engaged if possible. In this case, the recording level is at its highest and during reamping it is lowered, and the noise level is lowered as well. Of course, both switches cannot always be on. As you can see, an ordinary Strat almost overloads an audio interface set at +4. So be careful with the boost switch, but use it, when possible, during solos or bass guitar recording. Thank you.